Hello YouTube. Dark Souls 3 right now is looking like a superior, a global, yes, I'm talking about the whole world masterpiece. A complete work of perfection. The director for Dark Souls 3 is Miyazaki. I hope I'm saying his name right, but Miyazaki, yeah, he's a very nice storyteller, a good scenario designer. He tells stories very well. Now, don't get me wrong, I like Dark Souls 2, but Dark Souls 3, Dark Souls 1, it felt more like an open world experience. It gave you much more of an experience. Him directing Dark Souls 3 is where it's definitely a positive. No offense to the other director for Dark Souls 2, but I'm going to say Miyazaki, he's a better storyteller. The reason why is because you don't start off with the bonfire teleportation ability from the start like you do in Dark Souls 2. Dark Souls 1, you actually had to progress in the levels. You had to earn that ability. You had to find that ability. That's what made that game a real-time open world feel. It felt like an open world. It just felt like a giant open world. It felt realistic. He's a good story planner, a good storyteller. Dark Souls 3, ladies and gentlemen, Miyazaki behind it. I'm going to say yes. The reason is this, next generation consoles here, he's just going to blow us away. Because next generation, we're looking at 8 cores with 8 gigs of RAM. There's absolutely no limits to what he with a AMD Jaguar processor in both consoles, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Where do you think we're gonna see? Where do you think their heads are, ladies and gentlemen? They're gonna provide us with the most intense Dark Souls series we have ever seen in our life. This is probably gonna be the greatest game we have ever seen in a console. It's going to be graphically 100% beautiful. I can guarantee it. I can guarantee it. Reason why? Because we're looking at 8 cores with 8 gigs. 8 gigs means smoother animation, more realistic animation, real-time fighting, no more lagging, no more loading. It's... But an 8-core Jaguar and an 8 gig, you can also have more enemies on the screen at one time. He's just giving you much more. In a real-time feel. A real-time. No more loading, no more glitching. You program that game properly for these next generation systems, that game is going to... And I'm sure they're doing that. Next generation is where we're going. And Dark Souls 3, I can guarantee it's going to blow our minds. I'm looking at these YouTube videos. Namco Bandai has flown these YouTubers out to Los Angeles just to play Dark Souls 3, and what they've been saying. Now, they haven't been playing the final version. They've been playing the prototypes or something like that. So it's not 100% done, and they haven't been playing the online. Now the online features for this next generation era, I strongly see we're probably going to be invaded by like 2 or 3 enemies at one time. You can probably summon about 4 or 5 allies. Because we're looking at gigs of RAM, not megs of RAM. PlayStation 3, 256 megs of RAM. The Xbox 360, 512 megs of RAM. So there was a limit there to what they could do. 8 gigs? There's absolutely no limit. Now here's the trick. Here's the thing. PlayStation 4 is really 7 gigs dedicated to gaming. Xbox One, I believe, is 5 gigs dedicated to gaming. Well, whatever. It's still gigs. So that means it's just much more can happen at one time. The processor can handle it at one time. Not only that, you're not dual core anymore. You're 8 cores. And I believe 7 of those cores in each console is dedicated for gameplay. So that means there's absolutely nothing they can't give us. What if that Dark Souls 3, we're being invaded by 3 enemies, probably 4 enemies, and you just summon 5 other allies. And you just having a war right now. I can see that happening. I can strongly see that happening. Now, it might not be that intense. It might not be summoning about 5 enemies to have a 6-player. You're probably going to summon about, what? The max, probably 3 to have a total of 4 allies. But I know you can be invaded by more than 2 enemies. I mean, with that power, then you could probably be invaded by like 4 enemies. 4 people invading you. Can you imagine that game? I mean, not only that, the animation, the amount of creatures we're gonna see at one time, it's just endless because we're looking at some high-end RAM. PlayStation 4 is using GDDR5 RAM. That's some superior high-grade RAM there. That's not GDDR4. We're looking at GDDR5 RAM. That means that's complete performance. I mean, there's no limits. Now back to what I was saying, that those YouTubers, they wasn't playing the pro. They was playing like demo versions. So they didn't get the real feel of the game. I'm sure that game is gonna be much more intense when it releases. I strongly recommend you gamers out there, take this game very serious. You noobs, you people are noob that have nothing, that never knew about the Dark Souls series, please watch this video. Please listen to the end. Pay attention to this Dark Souls 3 because when it hits next generation consoles, we're gonna see the best of Miyazaki. The best of Namco Bandai. This is gonna be their best work. This game has been in development for 3 years. And I heard, rumors have it, it's been in development since the Bloodborne was in development. So that's about 2 years, 3 years in development. 2 or 3 years. This is gonna be their best work here. Take this game extremely 100% seriously. And when I say take it serious, I mean go out and reserve this game and get the limited edition version, which gives you the soundtrack, art book, map, figurines. I mean, take it 100% seriously. Now, the limited edition is probably going to be $69.99, probably $99.99, $100. It's going to be worth the money here. They're not putting out no screensaver. They're putting out a complete work of art here. Now, I have a question for you, Namco Bandai. I have a question for you, Miyazaki. Is there somehow, some way you can put the Star Wars universe in a Souls franchise type of a game? I mean, the Star Wars franchise in a game that plays very similar to the Souls series. You hear what I'm saying, gamers? You see where my head is, ladies and gentlemen? A Star Wars game that plays exactly like the Souls game, where you start off with nothing. You have to learn how to use the Force. You have to find a lightsaber. You have to upgrade your lightsaber abilities. You have to upgrade your Force abilities. Not only that, you're fighting Star Wars villains. You're fighting Star Wars creatures. You're fighting Sith Lords. You're fighting Sith Lords with force abilities with other lightsabers. In a do-or-die battle, you're summoning other allies. In this Star Wars game that plays similar to the Souls franchise. You see what I'm talking about? You see where my head is, ladies and gentlemen? This video is not to piss anybody off here. I just got some serious ideas for these next generation consoles. I'm just taking my gaming to the next level. Next generation is here. Video game entertainment is big. Movies are not that exciting anymore. I'm sorry to say, but I don't get as excited now for midnight launches for movies. And yeah, it's great and everything we've seen and everything, but the intensity, the excitement level is not as high as it used to be. It's not like it used to be. These gaming consoles, next generation gaming consoles, are dominating. Because when I do midnight launches for these gaming consoles, I'm out there from 12 in the morning till 9 in the morning till the store opens. That's about 9 hours. And my head is just completely blown up. My mind, my eyes are wide open. And my excitement level is like it's through the roof. I get that game in my hand, I can't even drive right to my house. I mean, I can't even open a door. I'm hitting things. The excitement level is extremely intense. Miyazaki, please listen to this video. If you can give us a Star Wars game, put the Star Wars universe and a Souls universe that plays exactly like the Souls game. I know you games, it plays just like the Souls game, but just with lightsabers. And you're fighting Sith Lords. You're fighting other Star Wars villains. Boba Fett, Darth Maul. You're fighting Count Dooku. Other Sith Lords with Jedi capabilities. Other Star Wars creatures. There's some way somehow you can get a contract with Disney. Come on, Namco Bandai. Come on, Miyazaki. Can that ever happen? Can you do that there? Can you give us a Star Wars game that's like your Souls game? If you gamers out there, if your heads is where my head is, give me a like on this topic here, because I strongly think I need a like. That's only if you think your head is where my head is. Because my head is in the right direction right now with these next generation consoles. Because we're way beyond megs of RAM. We're looking at gigs of RAM here. And my head, my imagination is just running wild. Give me some comments. I need comments of what you think. I need somebody to talk to about this topic here. I need somebody that is a Star Wars fan that want to see a Star Wars game that plays like the Souls series, the Souls franchise, the Souls games. Give me a comment on what you think. Just give me something. Just also subscribe and look at my other videos, my other topics, on other suggestions for games that I just we strongly have to see for this next generation era. Thank you. Thanks for watching my video, gamers. Thank you. Dark Souls 3 is a must-have. You have to take it extremely serious. We're looking at early 2016. So when I say early 2016, I'm talking the first quarter, which is January, February, and March. And I'm going to strongly say March, because their previous Souls games came out around the middle of March or the end of March. That's their release window is March. And it's going to be well worth the wait. And I strongly recommend you get the special edition. Spend the money because it's worth the money. This is a game you're going to invest in big time. This is a serious topic. It's a serious game here. I mean, you play to win. This how Dark Souls. That's how the Soul series games are. You play to win. Because if you keep dying, you're not gonna progress in the game. You're playing the game to be somebody. Dark Souls 3. The countdown is on. Early 2016 gamers. Thanks for watching my videos, gamers. Thank you, YouTube.